Welcome to exclusive diaries for inspiring relationship stories that touch your heart. Subscribe to stay up to date with our latest content and join us on our journey of love and connection.
My wife cheated and I want to get over it, but I can't. What have you tried Reddit? Well, first a little background. My wife and I have been married for about a year and a half, but have been together 6 years in total, living together for most of it. We started dating when we were young, 17 and 20. Before this we had known each other for years, even kinda briefly dated before. We were always great friends, and everyone thought we would be a perfect match. We have the same sense of humor and see the world in very similar ways. We eventually went away to college together and had a good time for a while. Eventually, we started fighting over stuff. Slowly at first, but it grew. It was never too bad, just little things. We just figured it was stress, and it probably was. By the time we were engaged, we were doing all right, but by the wedding we're fighting every week or so, but it always ended quickly. After the wedding we were doing well, but I began having problems with depression and such and withdrew from school to work full-time on IT. I ended up having to move away for her last semester of school to work. She had a guy friend of ours, who used to come over and hang out with us. She began hanging out with him, as he moved right down the street. Slowly she started talking to me about him over the phone more and more. This made me very angry over time and mixed with earlier problems, caused us to grow apart. I was always angry when we talked due to this and her ignoring my distress about them hanging out. She promised me I had nothing to worry about and I was still bothered. A few weeks later I came to visit for her birthday. I was tired from the drive and she insisted we hang out with this guy when I suggested staying in. We fought about it, a rather large fight. She eventually left and went over there for a few minutes before they both came back to our apartment to chill for the night. She refused to have any option without hanging out with him, which threw up a major red flag to me. We eventually seemed to get better and left. She came down to visit the next weekend, and upon her saying something about him, we fought about it again. She left me angry and went home that Sunday. I couldn't get in touch with her that night, but she called me the next day. We had a rough week talking, and she came down to see me that weekend. We had another fight, almost to the point of breaking up. We talked it out and she left. After this fight, I was not angry with her anymore. I had come to terms with her having a guy friend and was fine with it. We had several good weeks, and I came to visit her. During this time, she went out to a bar with that guy to see a band. She called me up complaining about him and how he wasn't as fun and I would be more fun. I talked to her for a while, but got upset after a while about how much she talked about this guy. I went up there that Friday to see her. We had an odd night that Friday, not really arguing, but there was tension. The next morning we woke up and she mentioned something about the guy that made me ask her if she had cheated on me or something. She couldn't look at me, but eventually told me she had cheated on me that night. She left me angry. She said she wanted to that it wasn't about me, it was just easy. My first reaction was anger and hurt I've never experienced. I freaked out and yelled for a bit, then calmed down and fucked her. I don't know why that was my first reaction, but it was. I feel terrible that it was, but I had already slept with her since she cheated, so why not? The rest of the weekend was highs and lows of it feeling like the old days and me being upset. I tried to contact the guy, with much anger. I didn't cuss him out, but I came close. I didn't threaten to kill him or anything, but I wish I had. She told me she still has feelings for the guy and wants to continue hanging out. I told her I couldn't trust her with him anymore, and she basically blew it off nicely and said she wouldn't hang out with him this week. She still talks to me about him and it hurts so much. He wouldn't even answer her calls, so she went to see him last night. He was there and she was over there for an hour. She wouldn't tell me what they talked about, but told me to not try to contact him anymore. She also apologized to him for the whole situation, to add insult to injury. I'm still bothered by this and that she won't stop seeing him. Now I'm sad all the time, suicidally depressed, and nothing makes me happy. Food doesn't taste right, I'm basically in a full-scale depression. I wish I wasn't still in love with her and attracted to her, or leaving would be easy. I've tried to make a life with her and have supported her through thick and thin for years. I want to be able to forget about this and move past it, but I don't know how. I know I made mistakes, but I don't feel as though they justified what she did. I don't want to vilify her, as there were mistakes made by all parties. I just want to forget and keep moving on like we were. It just seems so hard now. I can really tell how much she doesn't care about certain things, and it hurts me more than anything else ever has. I have never felt the need to call out to the hive, but I could really use some good advice and some good stories to take my mind off it. I've never felt so low in my life, and I'm too embarrassed to talk to any of my friends about it. I really hope that this helps me get over it in some way. TLDR, my wife cheated on me, won't stop seeing the guy as a friend, still wants to work it out, and now that I know what she did, I'm extremely clinically depressed. I'd like to forget it all and move on with our relationship. Help me, Reddit, you're my only hope. Edit, and this all happened right before my birthday. Edit 2, to be fair, she never made me think that she would do this in the previous 6 years. Never even made me suspect it. I couldn't believe it when she did it. I don't think she is a whore, and while I expected those responses to some degree, I know true whores, and she is not one. Edit 3, in some ways she has been trying to help me, basically by trying to check in on me, talk about other things to distract me, telling me to go out and have fun with my friends, and she is the one who keeps telling me she wants to make it work too. I want to make it work too, but I just don't know how to get over it or if I even should try to. Edit 4, well, thanks for all the helpful comments, I feel a ton better today and am out of the deep depression I was in. And for all of those people who shit on a guy in the middle of a deep depression looking for a way out of it, what girl made you so bitter? Thank you for watching.